If anyone wanted to write a book about stupid people, they'd have plenty of research subjects right here on Blue Ball's page, and the first person they can study is the purple skank. This hoe been on YouTube for almost 2 decades and still don't understand how this shit works. She over here on Blue Ball's last post leaving comments, but her dumb, senile ass doesn't realize she be commenting on an old ass post from months ago to an old ass comment of pugs from 11 long ass months ago. It's like, ho, did you even read any of this shit and look at how old this shit was, or is you just stupid? I swear this hoe need to go get her head examined. The folds be disappearing and her brain becoming more and more smooth as time goes on. Nothing about these posts is even about the purple skank. You can watch my last video where I read them, but the posts are about Alicia and have nothing to do with this hoe. So let's see what her stupid ass even be responding to. Here's Pug's old ass comment from 11 months ago.
Here again condemning one when cheering for someone who did the same. Come on, make that make sense.
So the dumbass purple skank be writing back like this shit was written recently. You dumb bitch, this comment is from 11 months ago. And the purple skank's answer doesn't even make any type of sense, which again, really go to show how badly she be suffering cognitively.
Pugs, I have had every career I've stated. Just because your psycho friends don't believe me, that doesn't make them true. I have zero reason to lie about my past and never have.
I have no idea why the fuck this hoe even writing this shit about her careers, cause ain't no one ever said shit about her careers, and especially in this post. And you is right, you have no reason to lie. You just choose to lie because you is a compulsive fucking liar who just likes to lie for the hell of it. You like to lie so you can make yourself look like you have more experience in life than you do. So here come research subject number 2, blue balls. She doesn't help her friend out or let her know she be responding to an almost year old comment. She just happy someone be talking on her page cause she be lonely, desperate, and hard up for some social interaction of any kind.
They lie about their past and assume everyone else does. They talk about it like it's absolutely normal to. Alicia's a marathon runner for years. Let Pugs go watch that bitch run. Pugs doesn't take a breath without saying your name.
Again, Pug's comment is from 11 months ago and it doesn't even say the purple skank's name anywhere in it, you fucking idiot. And what's with your obsession about Alicia running a fucking marathon, ho? Is you jealous cause you a laziest bed slug who don't exercise? When did she ever say she was a marathon runner for years? Quit making shit up. And let's see your resume, ho. You another wannabe photographer, ain't that right? Guess that shit didn't pan out, so now you is working an imaginary night shift cleaning up human excrement. Ha 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 ha. Ho, more like you is working the night shift at your local gas station cause that be all you're qualified to do. That's why your ass be so jealous of Alicia. She's done all the things you wish you could do. So anyway, the purple skank responds.
It's so true. Trust and believe, if I was going to lie about my past, I would have been a lawyer, airline pilot, FBI agent. I certainly wouldn't make up stockbroker, dancer, and music business exec. So many amazing jobs I could have made up.
This hoe really think people be stupid. Ain't no one gets jobs like that without the education or experience needed to get them. They don't hire people off the streets to work on Wall Street. They don't hire former strippers to be a music business executive. This bitch delusional, but if you would have made up all those other jobs, then we really would have known your ass was lying. She can't prove one thing she says. This hoe can't even prove her ass was a stripper, and didn't she say she tried to get into the FBI but she was too old or some shit? Ho, shut the fuck up. Ain't no one with all that experience end up pimping candles on the internet and babysitting. So blue balls respond with the dumbest shit imaginable.
Apparently, Alicia thinks being a stockbroker is a 1 in a billion chance job. That right there tells you what kind of people she's around besides slobster. You can buy and sell stocks from your phone now. She's an absolute moron.
You fucking idiot. No one thinks it's a 1 in a billion chance job. What they think is that it's a job that has prerequisites in order to obtain it. One of those would be having a bachelor's degree, then doing an internship. This was always the requirements for this job. It hasn't changed. And just because you can buy and sell stocks from your phone nowadays, that doesn't make you a stockbroker, you fucking idiot. You clearly have no fucking clue what stockbrokers actually do. They don't just buy and sell stocks, but besides that, The purple skank, according to her LinkedIn, claims to have been a stockbroker long before you were able to buy and sell stocks on your phone. In fact, she claims she was a stockbroker in 1999. And not only was she a stockbroker, but she managed an entire floor of NASDAQ day traders for an entire year and 9 months. She worked her way all the way up to management in a year and 9 months. And she did all of this with no bachelor's degree and no interning. They hired her off the streets with no relevant experience whatsoever. If you believe that shit, then I have a bridge to sell you, ho. This hoe didn't get her bunk-ass bachelor's degree from that university that used to advertise during the Jerry Springer show until 2011. That was after she was already claiming to have 2 jobs that would require degrees, certifications, licenses, and years of experience in the industry that she clearly didn't have. The problem is, she thinks everyone is as fucking stupid as you clearly are and will blindly believe her, even though most people know that those kinds of jobs require an education and experience to work in. I love how you have no problem with this hoe clearly lying about her life to everyone, but you is sitting here trying to call out others who've proven their lives and what they do. It's like I've said in the past, the only thing you is good at is embarrassing yourself. So the purple skank be loving the fact that she has at least one fooled, and so she decides to write an entire novel of bullshit to her.
Oh, Lalo. That's funny. So clueless. Being a broker in the mid to late 90s consisted of smile and dial, making hundreds of calls a day as a cold caller. Study for your Series 7 and Series 63. Work under a hotshot broker who gaze on the phone with you to feed you what to say and learn how to close deals. Rinse and repeat and start asking strangers for millions of dollars for stocks that go to shit. It's really not much different today. The movie Wall Street is the exact replica of the NASDAQ broker from New York. They used our pitch books and everything.
Wait a second. I thought that was the movie Wolf of Wall Street. Not It's Just Wall Street, the 1987 movie? Ho, make your mind up.
I get. You didn't even need to know math. All you needed to do was have a desire to make millions a year and work your ass off to get it. It wasn't really rocket science.
This bitch can't even remember her own life story or when she did what.
I remember after I got pregnant with the twins, I had gone into my boss to tell him that I was, leaving for good. And I walk into the club and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, Fallon?" Because my name is Fallon. And I said, "Nothing. I just want to let you know I've gained a little weight and I'm retiring my heels forever." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Dude, I'm pregnant with twins." And I said, "I'm going to Florida." I was like, "I'm going back home with my parents." So he was like, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Well, how about one more night?" I was like 3 months pregnant. I said, "Are you insane?" I said, "I'm 3 months pregnant with twins." He's like, "So you'll still make money?" I said, "That's okay, Vinny." I said, "Vinny, it was a pleasure working for you for the last 12 years. You have a wonderful life." And I left and I never turned around. And, but it was like, that was in Vegas. I just, guys don't know. Some of you guys know. I used to be a broker right out of my marriage. I put a hold on dancing and I became a stockbroker for a couple of years till I got thrown out of the business. 2 industries I know a lot about. Well, 3. I know a lot about dancing. I know a lot about the music industry. And I know somewhat about the stock brokerage industry. I haven't been in it since 1997, but...
Yet her LinkedIn says she worked there for a year and 9 months, starting in 1998 and ending in 1999.
But I still know a bit about it. I still have friends that are brokers and everything else.
I can prove every fucking every career that I've had. I am 51 years old. I have done a lot of stuff in my life. Partly because of my drive, my attitude, and my go-getter. I don't back down for anything. That is who I am. That is why I have been successful in every career that I have started. Now, does that mean I couldn't do better? Of course I could have done better. Whoops. Does that mean I couldn't do better? Of course I could do better. But things happen. I got out of the music business because I got pregnant with twins. I couldn't travel anymore.
I remember after I got pregnant with the twins, I had gone into my boss to tell him that I was, leaving for good. And I walk into the club and he's like, "Hey, what's going on, Fallon?" Because my name is Fallon. And I said, "Nothing. I just want to let you know I've gained a little weight and I'm retiring my heels forever." He's like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Dude, I'm pregnant with twins."
So did she leave the music industry because of twins, or did she leave stripping because of twins? I mean, these are details in life you think you'd remember.
Now, right now, mommy's asking for proof about a lady's job in 1998. Exactly. Actually, broker was earlier. Broker was 95 to 90, right around 99. I think court was 90, the end of 98.
None of her life details line up. None of them make sense. She claims she lived in Vegas and California when she was a band manager in the early 2000s, but her LinkedIn says she worked for Atlantic Records in New York. New York from 2000 to 2001 as an assistant to the vice president of sales and marketing.
Back in 2003, I was out in California and, well, actually, no, that's a lie. I was in New York in 2002. I was in New York and I met this guy. Don't even ask me how I met him, but I met this guy online. I think it was online, but I really don't remember how I met him. But him and his friend had convinced me to go out to LA, and they had convinced me that, I should go out there, help them with their band, so on and so forth. Now, from Making a Murder at People, I told this same story way back then. So I'm just reiterating before I show the proof. And I decided to go out there. I hooked up with this one guy who was from France, and I started working with his band, and I was still in the industry, but I was slowly kind of fading out. But I didn't know it then. I don't know if that makes sense, but I didn't know if I was getting out of it then. But I moved out to LA, hooked up with some people out there, started working out there. I was doing everything in between. I was in the music business, and I was also dancing in Vegas.
So you was a stripper in Vegas and a band manager in Los Angeles at the same time?
So I hooked up with this guy, and we hung out. I don't remember what happened, but we ended up breaking up, and I went back to New York and started working back in New York. Hadn't heard from him. And I worked with his friend. I worked with his band. We were in the studio. We did a lot of work together. All right. They were just a local LA band. Yeah, Hollywood. In 2015, I don't know the exact date, but in 2015, he hooks up with me on Facebook and tells me that Zoltan has now started Five Finger Death Punch. I was like, get the fuck out of here. No way. That is my Five Finger Death Punch story.
Ho! Someone need to give you a 5-finger death punch right to the throat. You can't make up your mind. Your resume say you worked in the music industry as an assistant, but you have said,
I mean, I've worked journalism before. I mean, I didn't work like on the field, but I was an associate producer. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I was a guardian ad litem in Florida. Now, in other states, you have to be an attorney. In the state of Florida, I took people's kids out. Like, a lot of people didn't even have a degree, and they just went for this weekend training course. No joke. That's how easy it is to take a kid in Florida.
That's funny because your LinkedIn say you was an associate producer in Florida and again, only got a year and 9 months, and you was also a guardian ad litem. You know that be volunteer work, right? So while raising 3 young kids, being an associate/executive producer, you was also volunteering your time to help take children away? That's not what a guardian ad litem does anyway. This was also while she worked for Trump Jr. on a show he hosted, even though none of Trump's sons ever hosted a show on Fox News. She has also said,
With every fucking every career that I've had. I am 51 years old. I have done a lot of stuff in my life. Partly because of my drive, my attitude, and my go-getter. I don't back down for anything. That is who I am. That is why I have been successful in every career that I have started.
bitch, if you was successful in at least one of the 800 careers you've allegedly had, you'd be retiring soon and living off your pension. How successful can you be in a career when you haven't even lasted more than 2 years at any of them? Your longest job was working customer service for a phone company for 3 years and 2 months. But hey, at least she have one fool completely fooled. Ha 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 ha.
There you go. For some reason 30 years later, Alicia is still crying about it, taking it personally and acting like you did something to her.
You mean the same way you've been crying about your crush. Leona's grief series for almost 7 years now, taking it personally and acting like she did something to you? I ain't never seen people this fucking dumb, delusional, and devoid of self-awareness in my life.
Like she takes everything you say personally.
Again, the same way you take everything your crush. Leona says personally even though the bitch ain't never talking to you. Like ever?
That's not your fault. They both do it. It's fucking weird. Law.
Nah, bitch. You're fucking weird.
None of them work, so how would they know?
As she say this shit to a grown woman who think talking shit about Britney on YouTube is a job and who is 50-something years old and thinks babysitting part-time is a real job as well.
Seriously though, why the fuck is she showing pics of me? Like, for what reason? Weird as fuck.
Why? 'Cause you was talking about other people not looking presentable while you yourself looking like a whole-ass homeless person who found their outfit at the Lost and found bin in their local elementary school.
But who's gonna hire Britney? I mean, honestly, look what she looks like. Look at how she carries herself. What is she gonna do? Work in, let's say, McDonald's and scratch her leg all day? Ugh, the thought of that is nauseating. But she has no skills. Who knows if she even has an education?
And here she be on yet another post whining about this shit to her faceless, voiceless avatar / YouTube therapist that she doesn't respect blue balls.
Wait, what? Why is she showing pics of me? From years ago. Damn, I can't believe she still obsesses over me this much.
Why this hoe always acting like she don't know what's going on?
Don't sweat to delusional bitches who can't stand behind what they say. People only go in there to laugh at her. She knows it when she wakes up the next day and deletes the shit, the weirdo. Have you seen her without filters? She's missing lips and a chin. Egg.
Have you seen this bum bitch without filters? You seem to want to ignore that shit. Sorry about that jump scare. Let's see your ass, period. Fucking pussy. You don't even show your face.
LOL, I don't even think about her. Trust me, I'm not sweating anything from them.
Yet you over here onto posts crying about this shit. We believe you, hoe.
Hey, does she need updated photos? Just got a whole bunch from Vegas Strip.
No thanks, hoe. We don't need any more nightmare fuel. I'm pretty sure that should be recent, judging by the last time you cammed up on a live and had the same hair color. Anyway, this concludes my research on stupid people for the day. Hope y'all have a good one.